Batman Arkham Asylum is a game released in 2009 on the Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, Mac OS, and Microsoft Windows. It was then re-released on the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One in 2016, with some updated graphics, models, and environments in a bundle with the next game in the series, Batman Arkham City. It shares some voice actors with the 1990s Batman the Animated Series, with Kevin Conroy, Mark Hamill, and Arlene Sorkin reprising their roles. The game has a notable score that has become iconic throughout the series, which is composed by Nick Arundel, whose main body of work has been focused around the series of games and its spin-off titles. Both Will and I here at the channel have decided to play this game again, to put it to the test and see if in 2020 the game still feels as enjoyable as it did before. The game has three main sections to its map layout: Arkham North, East, and West. Inside these sections are buildings which you can enter and explore, with each playing big parts in the game's narrative, as you traverse them to progress the story. All of these areas of the map also feature many challenges created by the Riddler, allowing you to spend more time in the game doing additional challenges for rewards that will help you along with the story as well. Many of these puzzles involve references to other characters from the DC universe that aren't exactly a part of the main story, but potentially set up their appearances in later titles in the series. The player has access to many of Batman's iconic gadgets during the game, which are unlocked by progressing through the story and upgrading them to have different modifications. Unlocking specific tools allows you to open new areas and complete some of the Riddler's challenges. This gives you another incentive to try to unlock the upgrades. Through these Riddler challenges, you can unlock virtual trophies of characters from the story, audio recordings of the characters being interviewed, and engaging subplot to learn about information on different Batman characters, as well as gaining XP to go towards unlocking upgrades to gear. The challenge mode and extra content levels that are unlocked by collecting Riddler trophies are a nice addition to the game, allowing you to compete on leaderboards with other players, adding competitiveness to the game. These levels allow you to use a different batsuit to the normal story one, an armored batsuit that can be unlocked by completing the game.
Just like a bat. I dig it.
In addition to this, you can also play as the Joker in some of the challenge levels. These levels can be fun to play when you need some time to burn, and serves as a nice bonus feature to play instead of the time-consuming story. As this game came out in 2009, the minimum and recommended system specifications for running it on PC are relatively low for today's standard computers. According to Steam, you need a 3 GHz dual-core CPU, 2 GB of RAM, and an NVIDIA... What the fuck is an NVIDIA? An NVIDIA 6600 GPU, which can be outperformed by built-in Intel graphics processors. On the remastered Return to Arkham version of the game, there is a 30 FPS frame lock, whilst the PC version can be unlocked to 60 frames per second. The textures and models of the original version don't hold up that well in today's standards, as they look dated and lack detail. The remastered version, however, does look better, as it was made in a newer game engine with new models, textures, and better lighting. All of these help set up a better looking game for a better experience. However, the story is engaging enough for you to look past the visuals. 2009 was a year full of big game releases. Two similar games heavily involving story and exploration were released: Assassin's Creed 2 and Uncharted 2. Both of these, as well as Arkham Asylum, have been re-released since their original game launches as Game of the Year editions. These all have been remastered since for a newer generation of consoles, with Assassin's Creed 2 also being remastered as a part of a set of games. These games' legacies have all lasted throughout the years and have become known as classics to many players. Another game released in 2009 was the cult classic Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. The legacy of this game has been massive, with players calling out for a remaster of it for years on newer consoles. Though earlier this year, in 2020, there was a remaster of the game's campaign game mode released on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, showing how the game's legacy may have surpassed that of Arkham Asylum. The modern era of games has transformed into having a range of different action-adventure titles being released. In 2018, an adaptation of Spider-Man was released on the PlayStation 4 to widespread success and various awards. There is no doubt that these games have their similarities, with combat systems being similar in function and side quests containing lots of Easter eggs and nods to their expanded universes. The Spider-Man game also has a Game of the Year re-release, whilst Spider-Man allows a free roam through a massive area, New York City. Arkham Asylum is completely contained to the grounds of the asylum and its containing buildings. Spider-Man has many more customizability features in the game, with 42 different suits as well as the different skills and powers to further create a personalized experience. This is much more customizable than Arkham Asylum, that only offers linear upgrades and one other suit that is unlocked for only challenges when you complete the story. Other games that are also similar to Arkham Asylum are Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, Horizon Zero Dawn, and Death Stranding in their free roam and combat mix. They are also considered outstanding games by players and have all won awards. This proves that the action-adventure genre is popular, with Arkham Asylum being one of the more earlier modern takes which may have inspired other games similar to it. In the long term, Arkham Asylum has been outclassed by other similar games. Nevertheless, it's still a very respectable game, and is definitely worth playing for its engaging story and replayability, even in 2020. The story, despite being contained within one location, offers a compelling and creative tale that holds up as an enjoyable action-adventure game. This adaptation of Batman is one of the most well-regarded versions out there amongst many worthy live-action and animated competitors. What sets this game apart from its Marvel games counterparts is that it's not based on a movie at the time of its release, such as the Iron Man 2 game, Thor, Captain America, and the Amazing Spider-Man games. This allows the game to be made without any restrictions or limitations. Ultimately, the game has many impressive features that still hold up today in 2020. While the textures and models may fail when pitted against recent games like The Last of Us and God of War, it does have compelling storytelling, an iconic soundtrack that adds to the dark, dismal, will we ever see the daylight atmosphere of Arkham Asylum, and combat that feels raw and grounded. So after playing the game again, we've come to the conclusion that Batman Arkham Asylum is a game that, despite being originally released in 2009, holds up remarkably well today and never feels like an old game. So if you've made it to the end of the video and found yourself wanting to either play this game again or even for the first time, we recommend that you play the remastered version over the original release, but as I mentioned earlier, both still hold up well today with 2020 eyes. Also, shout out to my partner here on the channel, Will, for writing out all the technical parts of the script, because as I'm sure you could tell, I really have no idea what any of that stuff means. I mean, what the hell is RAM? Thank you so much for watching. If you liked what you saw here today, then maybe consider subscribing to catch our other content as and when it releases.